And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Monday once again, the 23rd of September. How do you feel today? Right now we start out today at 68. Expect it to be cloudy. It's not be big sunshiny day, but it will be hot. As we'll get to around 94, that heat index should tap somewhere around 97 before it's all said and done. Hot weather. Yesterday, this weekend was that way, wasn't it? That heat index was something else to deal with. I was almost wanting some October weather. It didn't happen, did it? We're close to that October mark. We'll give you the forecast here in just a few moments and update you on everything that is going on. We'll have some special guests coming in at 7 this morning as we'll go local at the top of the hour. Right now, let's pause a minute. We're going to go out to Collinsville, to the First Baptist, see what they've got going on. So many of you are up and at 'em already there. Grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get a good message here. We'll be right back.
Do you enjoy being around generous people? I do, and I bet you do too. There's just a joy being around that kind of person. That's why it says in the Bible in Proverbs 19:6, many seek the favor of a generous man, and everyone is a friend to a man who gives gifts. Now, we can take that proverb two ways. One way is the cynical way. People want to hang out with generous people because they hope they can get something generous out of their generosity. And that's certainly true of some people. They're just looking for a handout. But the other way is something like what some call the law of attraction, which is the idea that you attract to yourself what you put out. But a biblical way of saying the same reality is the law of harvest. You will reap what you sow. Therefore, if you sow kindness, which that's what generosity is, then you'll reap kindness back. If you're a generous person, people will want to be generous back to you. And people want to be around you and will want to be your friend. And if you're not, just like old Ebenezer Scrooge from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, people won't be able to get away from you fast enough. Beloved, if you want to be blessed, bless others. Cultivate a generous spirit and a generous hand. As Anne Frank once said, no one has ever become poor by giving. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that. Brother Ben will join us, I believe Thursday morning is when he'll be in the studio with us. We look forward to that. It's been a month or so since we've heard from him. Maybe a little longer there, but we're looking forward to his visit. Again, that's going to be Thursday morning. Susan joins us, Miss Rashida Horn. How are you doing? LaWanda is up, Buddy. Also Miss Ann, Shirley, and Joyce. Many of you. We're so tickled that you joined us this morning as we do this. Again, as we're beginning this morning, we're sitting at 68 right now. And this is one of those, what is that movie, that weird one to where Final Destination type thing? We see where a Florida teen near Miami was killed last week, riding his bicycle struck by lightning. That just is horrible. Condolences go to that family. You don't hear that happening a lot in the news, but it's, I believe, more times than you realize. We had someone locally struck by lightning. I was looking at my phone. She survived, but what an ordeal she went through. Lightning, it's dangerous. I didn't even know this had been stolen. Winston Churchill, an iconic photo that was taken of him during 1940, I believe it was 41, was stolen recently. Took them 2 years before they finally found it. It's been returned. They've made a big to-do of it. Apparently it's a rather expensive portrait of Churchill. He was one of those, wasn't he? Man's man. He just went for it. Led his country. Out in California, you won't be able to have these much longer. Plastic sacks. You know, like the type you go into Walmart and they put your groceries in those little thin plastic sacks. Those are being outlawed in grocery stores in California. No word if you'll have to bring your own basket or if they're going back to the paper bag, but you will not be able to use that soon coming to California. I know there's a lot of trouble with birds on that. You'll hear that a lot from people there. The Ohio sheriff, did y'all see that posted to where if you have a Biden sign in your yard, we should give your address to the immigrants coming and they can come stay with you? The election commission officially announced they're not going to give you security if you have a sign in your front yard. Sheriff said what he said, and he said it, and that's the end of the story on that. Not many people say all of that. South Carolina this morning, we see they're getting ready to, after 13 years of absent, will start their execution programs once again. It's been on halt for 13 years. They will restart that now. This is, I don't agree with this whatsoever. You may or may not. It's your decision. But Arizona, it's 98,000. You might as well call that 100,000. Who are, from the best I can understand after reading all of this, are not American citizens. They will be allowed to vote in the next presidential election. Doesn't seem right, does it? You pay taxes. You're an American citizen. You have to abide by all the laws, but yet someone can come into our country and change on how you live, because the person that is elected will choose what the American citizen does, not non-citizens. Something's wrong here. I may have missed the big picture, but the Supreme Court of Arizona filed on that. Something to think on. Arizona, hello. Israel has struck 300 targets in South Lebanon. Israel not backing down. Their warplanes took to the air and did that. Ukraine, I guess I shouldn't be shocked on this. The president of Ukraine, what's his name? Zelensky? Is that what his name is? Yeah. Visited the ammunition factory in Pennsylvania in the U.S. of A. Why? Now, he may need ammo, but why would... I often wonder. There may be a reason behind it that I'm not aware of, but I, at this point, ask why. Families, y'all remember the bridge that was struck, the cargo, the bridge collapsed, all of that. The cargo ship is formally getting sued now by families that lost six families that lost their loved ones in that. They are now suing the cargo ship. I'm shocked that it has taken this long for that to happen. It will move forward at this point. Back in court today, the guy that attempted the second assassination on Trump will face a judge again today. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was a Sesame Street themed park. It's been 2 years where the park was accused of being racist. Kids were there and they were accused of being racist. It went before a grand jury and they said, nope, didn't happen. The case has been thrown out of court and all will resume as normal. And it was, Oscar and all of the characters from Sesame Street. The video didn't show it to me either, and the court didn't see it. It's gone. It's out of there. A California firefighter has been accused of setting fires in Wine County, California, while he was off duty. They've linked him to 5 fires. That's bad, isn't it? Well, that happens everywhere, believe it or not. I know of several cases to where that has happened, where there's just that person that likes fire. And we've had it here. I think it was in Kemper as well. Oh, boy. A major maritime strike could happen as the ports on the eastern coast are threatened by this. We saw that with, what was it, AT&T? For about a month, they were shut down. We don't need the ports closing, that's for sure. This is sad news over the weekend. We all loved Bing Crosby. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Who couldn't? Okay, I can't carry the tune with the song, but you know what I'm talking about. What a great movie. His wife passed away at the age of 90. Isn't that sad? But remember this, it's a part of life. No matter who you are, what you're doing right now, your day will come as mine will. Just know that. Plan ahead for your future. It's like your savings account for retirement. Make sure that retirement is taken care of beforehand. There won't be anything after if you don't. Beetlejuice claimed the box office for 3 weeks in a row. Can y'all believe that? Haven't seen it. Hadn't even heard of anybody that went to see it just yet to tell me if it's any good. This is just, I guess I should back up and say I'm proud of anybody who can make a great living and become a millionaire. I'm proud of anyone. But at the same time, I have to say what? As we go to a guy named Joel Embiid, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and again, I don't know much about sports, but he's with the Sixers. I think that's basketball, if I'm not mistaken. 3-year contract. Is anybody ready for this? Seriously, 3 years. $192.9 million for 3 years. Oof. And you wonder why tickets and popcorns and hot dogs cost so much at games. But if he's making that much, what are the team owners making? Now, seriously, think about that, because there's how many people play on a ball team? 20-something or more?
Oh, at least.
But yeah, the taxpayer will probably build the place they play ball.
Yeah.
Something is wrong, y'all. $193 million for 3 years. Shocking, it really is. I don't get it. As I say this, and I'm not being ugly in any way. Do you pronounce his name Kelsey, the guy that's dating Taylor Swift?
Yeah, Kelsey.
Kelsey. Of course, he's into the spotlight. We probably would have never really heard much out of him had he not dated Taylor Swift or his brother. They were two brothers that played ball. Kind of it. Here's the latest twist to the family. Are y'all ready for this? Your Hallmark movies, get ready. His mother is now going to be starring in a movie. And you guessed it, it's all about a football show. All you got to do is date Taylor, and you'll end up in a song or in a movie. Huh. This is interesting. The Detroit Lions coach says he's going to have to move. Matter of fact, he's already packed up and left because sleuths figured out where he lived, and he was not home. He was on the road, and after a few practical jokes at his front door, he says he feels his daughter is not safe. Now, she's 18, but apparently some people dressed up as TV repairmen or something of that knocked on the door and played pranks on him. He didn't take too kindly to it, and he's selling the home, I think, for $4.5 million. It's a beautiful home, but can't stay there no more. Guess it wasn't a gated community. I'm not sure. And again, I'm not real big on sports. I don't know who's who and who does all of it. That's the headline shaping America this morning. Huh. Any of that catch your attention? It's just a few of the things. And of course, Birmingham, Alabama over the weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that. 4 people are dead, 17 shot. Birmingham, Alabama. It was a targeted hit. But let me say this about that target. As I have often said, it depends upon where that person is as to how many people are injured, and that proves it there in Birmingham. Now, again, this was a bar district there in Birmingham, as we know. But this could happen at a festival. The person they wanted happened to be standing there, and they can't prove whether it was a drive-by or a walk-by. They're unsure of that. At least 100 rounds are found, shell casings on the ground. Again, let me redo those numbers. 4 dead, 17 others hit, wounded in some kind of other way. This is coming to small-town America. It's coming to America everywhere where people no longer have any common sense. Drive-by gangs, and we know it. It's all across the USA. We have to have top law enforcement. Remember this when you vote. Those who voted for defund the police, they've brought this to your hometown. I'm not being political, I'm being factual. You take away the police, crime rises. You run the police down. Make it to where they can't do their job and crime will rise. It is at your front door. How do you feel about it? Think about that. We'll be right back as we'll get into the forecast. Now, enough of the political stuff. That's where the headlines are this morning, though. We'll be right back as we begin this forecast. We'll be right back.
Al's Garden and Gift, a charming place to harvest memories and gifts this fall. Gather a bountiful selection of pumpkins in a variety of colors and sizes. Capture curb appeal. Enhance an entrance or outdoor living space with beautiful mums, snapdragons, hay bales, corn stalks, or a handmade wreath. Make game days and tailgating even more fun with Captain Rodney's. Savory spices, grilling sauces, gourmet jellies, and Mississippi cheese straws too. Come fall in love with all things autumn at Al's Garden and Gift.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical, 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian, 601-693-6374.
Guess that means I should hit that button there. Let me get this straight. For some reason, I didn't do that right. Somebody made the comment there was a shooting in Clark County as well. There was. But that suspect has turned themselves in, and we will be able to what did I just do there? From beginning, that's what I needed to do. We will have an update on that at the top of the hour there. But the suspect did turn themselves in, if you're wondering what went on. That threat has been taken care of, and it was at a sports complex on top of it. Someone shot in the foot. We'll give you more details on that coming up at the top of the hour also. As we get the forecast rolling this morning, nice and cool at 68. Let's get that going now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs and our record lows, here's what we have. Back in 2016, it was 99 today. Again, we're not going to be close to that. We'll be at 94 today for a high. 99 was the record high. Back in 1999, that gets confusing, doesn't it? Too many 99s there. We had a low of 40 some 25 years ago as you woke up. It was a cool morning then. We could use a few of those. As we look at the forecast for today, 93 to 94 is the best we're going to get out of the thermometer. Should see 93-ish there in Columbus as we go back over to Greenwood. The same down to Natchez. Not really that much difference anywhere in the state. It will range anywhere from 91 to 94 statewide across the great state of Mississippi. As we look to Bama, looks to be 94 in Demopolis, even 91 in Birmingham. Over at Auburn, we're looking at 92 as well on the thermometer side. Now, here's what we've got. For the next 6 to 10 days, it's going to be warm and hotter coming from California, making its way toward West Texas, and it will eventually get here. Have warm weather there. Now, here's the 7-day outlook of what we've got. 93 today. Look at this drastic change with the weather coming in. And this will be from that hurricane system that's going to be east of us. As we see that by Wednesday, we have a 40% chance of rain. Those temperatures dropping from those mid-90s to 85. By Thursday, when the rain moves in, we're backing down to about 79. And again, it's at 50%, but this again will be from that hurricane side. 79 on Friday with 40%. And then Saturday, we're back into the mid-80s with highs of about 83, 84 with only a 10% chance of rain. Now, as we do the outlook at this, pretty good for the next second week as we go into October. On the 30th, we'll have about 83. As we move into October, it will be 82 that day with sunshine. And as we look all the way through the 7th, it'll either be 80, 81, and even getting to the upper 70s, 78, 79 on a 2-week outlook through October the 7th. No complaints on that whatsoever. Now, as we glance here, best times to fish today is going to be later on this afternoon, about 6 o'clock, 6 until 8 p.m. Now, right now is also a great time through about 7:30 this morning. If you're already out, walking out the door, great time to fish as well. The wind's going to be calm, south-southwest, around 5 miles an hour this afternoon. So nothing bad that we can think of. Let me get over and pull up radar and show you what we've got. I want to make sure we show both things here at one time. As I come back, let me show this from the National Hurricane Center first of what we've got. And I hit the wrong button. Let me go here. This is what is showing right now. Off the coast of Africa, we've got a 70% chance of another one forming. This is sitting at 90% and most likely could be a major hurricane by the end of the week. Now, it's too early to say how many, how big, but all indicates that it will be a major hurricane. Now, let's go back and look at what we've got, the storm tracks of this at this point. And again, it's going to be east of Mississippi. Let me go here and get this up. As we look, here's our storm tracks of what we got, the spaghetti models, as they call them, as we pull up radar. Most of these agree that this will most likely come in somewhere around Apalachicola, Florida, in that area there from over to Gainesville, most likely everything at this point. But again, now we're sitting at Monday. This should come in sometime around Thursday. This is going to change a little on each side either way. But as you can see, all of them show that once it comes ashore, it's going to hook a northwest turn and go this direction, most likely toward up in this area right here, up into Missouri. These areas, Arkansas, should get some rain. We will be on the west side of this storm. The worst of any hurricane is always on this east side of the storm. So Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina with this would get more rain. Can this come in? As you'll see here, there is one little lone model that puts it here through the Mobile area. It's going to be east at this point. Again, it's way, way early to say who, what, and I've even heard up to a Category 4. We don't know that yet. There's some more things that have to come in. We're watching the professionals that know all of this. It's beginning as it will go right through there. It has not been named yet, but it is in the early process of this. And I don't want anybody, I know there's been a lot of stuff put out there, and I call it fear weather of a scare tactic. We don't do that. It is in no shape, form of anything that indicates that it would hit the Mississippi Gulf Coast or anywhere to the west of us, putting us on the east side of this. It's all to the east, most likely in Florida at this point. It is Mother Nature. Should that change, we'll begin to focus our forecast the way it goes. But don't panic on this. It is east of the Mississippi-Alabama line at this point. It is Mother Nature. As I reiterate, things can change, but it's no direct threat to the Mississippi Gulf coastline as I've seen some put out there. Again, we will watch this as it becomes an item. We'll get an update later on today, and as I said, we're expecting this thing to be named soon, and it may landfall sometime, I think, late Thursday is what is being predicted, and it could be a major hurricane. We'll watch all of that and let you know exactly what becomes of it as this comes about. It's a lot to think on. Always be prepared. If you're on the Florida coast, make absolutely sure Alabama, Georgia, those areas, you need to be ready for what is coming because it will be making its way there. Again, that's a quick look at what we've got this morning when it comes to the forecast. We've got so much more on the way. We'll be back live in just a moment at 7 o'clock as we'll have the morning show underway. We look forward to seeing you. Hot coffee, we're getting our pot made up now. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Scotty Ray and Odie as we'll kick off the morning show bright and early this Monday. These Mondays are tough, aren't they? Hey, Hillary. Y'all look out. Hillary is joining us in a moment. Oh, it's a different last name. It's not what you're thinking. We'll be right back.